All right, everyone. For today's video, I have the brand new for 2022 inflatable haunted house. I picked this up from Sam's Club. This retails for $239, and as you can see on the box, it's 12 feet tall. When I first saw this inflatable online, I did not know which retailer it was going to be sold at. I thought it would have been at Home Depot as an online exclusive, but to see that it's at Sam's Club really was a shock to me. Sam's Club doesn't really have too much Halloween decorations in general. I believe the last time they had a Halloween inflatable was in 2017, so it has been some time. Yeah, to find out this was only $239, I really thought this would have been at least $299, the least. So yeah, I could even see this being $350 or even $399. It's an online exclusive at Seasons or Home Depot, for example. This is even cheaper than the at-home archway / haunted house that's supposed to have sound and it doesn't. So to find out this was even $20 cheaper than that, that's pretty crazy. And I don't know if it's Gemmy or the retailers, but a lot of times archways are called haunted houses or haunted castles, for example, as that at-home haunted castle. They obviously are just archways. This is the only actual haunted house that you can actually walk into. It's been released by Gemmy for several years now for Halloween, so it's definitely nice to see. And this is definitely one of the biggest inflatable boxes that I've seen in a long time. Definitely compares to the 20-footers. It is a really big box. It's not small at all. To fit this much of an inflatable, and I really anticipated this box being actually larger than what it is. Yeah, for features, this particular inflatable has micro LED lights, interior projection, Lightshow lights. It's basically a ball that has ghosts on it. It also has short circuit lights. It has that stone-looking fabric on the tombstones, blinking C7s. It also has that fuzzy material on the pumpkin and spider. The skeleton eyes light up. Really has a lot of features. Let's see what they provide for the stakes. Alright, so you have your regular base fan plastic stakes, the twisty stakes, and the small metal stakes and tethers, which is what I expected. Would have been nice to have colossal stakes, though, just for the heck of it. So the instructions are pretty interesting. Obviously, it says Members Mark, which is, again, obviously part of Sam's Club. It says the name of the inflatable, customer service or assistance, who's made by Gemmy, obviously. That is pretty interesting. Usually, in all the base fans, at least for nearly the past 10 years, just says Gemmy on it. Generic instructions. Unfortunately, this only has one base fan. For something this big, it would have been nice to see 2 base fans at the least. Obviously, the original haunted houses had more than that even, so it definitely would have been nice to see at least 2 base fans. That would have definitely increased the price, though. I think it definitely would have been above $300. Probably Sam's Club didn't want to do that. They wanted to keep the price down, so that might have been the reason why there's only one base fan. It would be interesting to see if somebody adds an additional base fan to this. You can see that plush fabric on the pumpkin there. Alright, let's see what it looks like inflated. Alright, so it does take a considerable amount of time to inflate this inflatable. Obviously, because of all the chambers, I guess you could say, that it has, and everything it has to inflate. The archway part of it, the tunnel part of it, the roof, the ghosts, the pumpkin, the tombstone. Just as a lot of fabric to inflate. So it does take some time. Once it's inflated, it does stay up pretty well for one base fan. I was surprised to see the blinking C7s and the torches. Did not anticipate the blinking C7s in the torches. I thought those would have just been regular incandescent C7s, non-blinking C7s. So this is definitely a nice touch. Obviously, above the archway part of the haunted house, you can see the Happy Halloween sign. On the left and right of Happy are obviously 2 bat wings, which, again, nice attention to detail. Here's the short circuit ghost, and the fabric material, it looks like stone, is on the tombstone. And there's these micro LED lights. And here's the tinsel pumpkin. It does really look good. I think that just adds a little bit more to the entryway to the haunted house. I'm glad they added that tinsel pumpkin, not just a regular inflatable fabric pumpkin. Now, I am about 6 feet tall. My head does not hit the entryway to the haunted house, so it's definitely really big. A lot bigger than the at-home castle or archway haunted house, for example. And as you can see, it has that mesh material up top, so it cuts down on the amount of leaves or whatnot from entering. Kind of hard to tell from this perspective, but they did not continue the shingles all the way around, which is a shame. Same thing with the shutters on this inflatable. As you can see there, it's just plain inflatable fabric. There's no details on it. As you can see here, there's no shutters on this side. It's just that mesh material. As you can see over here, there's those shutters, which again is actually a pretty big letdown. And as you can see, the projection bulb does not continue on this side. There's only one of them, which once again is one of the bigger letdowns. On the cat tunnel from Lowe's several years ago now, the kaleidoscope light was on both sides of that tunnel. Would have been probably not too difficult to add another projection light there. One thing I will say about mine in particular, it does have that small hole there, which is the only hole I noticed, which isn't too big of a deal, but it's something to check yours. And here's the tower. The tower itself has two skeletons inside of it with the short circuit light effect inside the tower itself, and then on the skeletons there's two LED eyes. And here's the other side of the house. There's nothing on this side, which is a disappointment. There definitely should be something. If it was just the shutters, I think that would have been fine. Really, there should be something. It makes no sense to me why there isn't. Here's a tie down there. I can't tell if those are purple blinking LEDs. I think they are, but it's kind of hard to tell. They're white or purple because of the fabric. And here you can see the skeletons, the LED eyes. Those green LED eyes really are a nice touch on this. And you can see here the tinsel spider, which does look really nice. It does weigh down the roof a little bit, as you can tell. But there is no lights in that spider, which is a disappointment. And there's a short circuit ghost to go alongside the tower, and the ghost in the front of the haunted house. One thing I will say is the skeletons aren't the same. The one skeleton has his head tilted right, and the other skeleton has his head tilted left. This is nice to see that they changed those up and they use the same image, I guess you could say, for both of them. I just don't understand why there's no details at all on the other side. It just doesn't make much sense to me. Anything would have been better than nothing, whether it be the shutters, the shingles on the roof, maybe some more of these skeletons. Something like that would have been really nice to see. Alright, so that about does it for the day portion of the video. I think this is going to look really good at night. Definitely the short circuit light effect, the blinking C7s and everything else. Projection light inside the haunted house. So let's get to the night video. Alright, so here's a 12-foot tall haunted house, Halloween inflatable at night. This is definitely a nighttime inflatable. If you only inflate at night instead of the day, it's definitely the way to go. It looks really good at night, especially the micro LEDs around the entryway to the haunted house. Really, really good at night. The camera isn't doing it justice at all. You really have to see it in person. It's definitely one of the best Halloween inflatables I have for a nighttime display, with all the short circuit light effect, the micro LEDs, the blinking C7s, the projection light inside the haunted house, skeleton, green LED eyes. It really does look incredible at night. Here's a better look at the tower side of the inflatable. My camera isn't picking it up too well, but the LED eyes from the uppermost skeleton in the tower. Do illuminate the spider's tinsel fabric pretty well. That is a really nice touch. Obviously, you cannot see that in the daytime, though. It's definitely, I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it does definitely look really cool. You can see the ghosts do shine on this part of the house from the projection light that's inside the haunted house. It does not shine through the other side, which again, because there's no bulb shining towards that direction. And there's the short circuit ghost above the haunted house. So here's the tinsel pumpkin. It illuminates really well at night. I thought it would be darker because of the tinsel fabric, but it does illuminate extremely well. And here's the micro LED lights surrounding the entranceway to the haunted house, and that's a nice touch. And obviously you can see here the torches with the blinking C7s. I do really think the Happy Halloween sign was a nice touch to add. You can definitely see the Happy Halloween from a very far distance away. The one C7 does a really good job illuminating it. Once again, I like the Happy Halloween in the wings on his left and right of Happy. I think it looks great. I would say it's a short circuit light effect. It is synchronized for all the short circuit part of the inflatable. It would have been nice to see different sections of short circuit for the tower and different, I guess, timing for the ghosts. It would have been definitely nice to see. Unfortunately, it's the same. And here's the Tombstone, and it has that stone-looking fabric on, and I think it looks great. The one C7 does a really good job illuminating the Tombstone. Biggest downside to this inflatable is does not have a sound box. It really should have had a sound box. I don't think it would have cost Sam's Club or Walmart, whatever you want to call them, too much more money to buy a sound box and for Gemmy to put one in. And definitely to add an additional projection light would have been a great addition to this inflatable. The one really isn't good enough in my opinion. I'm definitely going to have other lights inside of this though. And you can see there the short circuit ghost on the roof. It's been a long time since Gemmy had bats or spiders hanging from the ceiling. Obviously, that's a long time ago when they had that in their haunted houses, but I think that would have been awesome if they had that, for example. As you can see here, it's just really dark without that other projection light. It's hard to see, but you can see it does not have the shutters there as it does on the other side, which again, you can even tell at night doesn't have the shutters. However, overall, if you're looking for a haunted house, this is really the only one you can get. And I definitely recommend this if you're looking for an archway or a tunnel, for example, or especially if you're looking at the at-home haunted castle or house, whatever it's called. This is 1,000 times better than that. I highly recommend this. I'm thinking this is going to sell out pretty quickly. And honestly, the price they're charging is a steal for this. I've asked people what they thought this cost. Some people told me they thought it cost $400, $500 even. And I definitely think that's how much people are going to be charging for it on eBay in the coming months. $500, $600. I can even see it's going for $700 next year if they do not remake it. So I would definitely get this now. This is easily going to be the best-selling, I believe, haunted houses or archways or tunnels the past several years. And thanks for watching, everyone. Hope to see you next time.